Okay, imagine this. You turn down an offer, right? $250 million.
Mm-hmm.
And then you get offered double that. Or how about saying no to $1.5 billion?
This sounds completely unreal.
Doesn't it?
Yeah.
Welcome to, well, the Wild West of the AI talent war.
That's the way to put it.
Today, we're doing a deep dive into this intense competition for the absolute top AI talent. And we're going to zero in specifically on Meta's recruitment strategies, which are pretty aggressive.
Yeah, incredibly aggressive. And we've pulled together uh, a really fascinating stack of sources for this. We've got articles detailing these, frankly, eye-popping compensation packages,
Right.
but also broader analyses looking at what this means for the whole tech industry,
Yeah.
and even some of the really crucial ethical questions that pop up.
Exactly. So our mission today really is to unpack this whole talent grab. Who are the key players? What are the motivations? I mean, why take these deals? Or maybe even more interesting, why reject these, mind-boggling offers?
And what does it all mean, ultimately?
Yeah, what's the impact? For the future of AI, sure, but also for the global workforce. So let's jump in.
Let's do it.
So this AI talent market, it's not just hot, it's become something else. Some people are calling it a superstar economy.
That analogy works surprisingly well, actually. It feels a lot like professional sports.
How so?
Well, you've got these super wealthy patrons, right? Think Microsoft backing OpenAI, Elon Musk funding xAI.
Google, Meta with their own huge lab.
Exactly. They're pouring resources in, just like team owners. And that money flows directly to the talent.
So we're talking superstar level packages, not just good salaries.
Oh, way beyond that. Tens, sometimes hundreds of millions of dollars. We're seeing figures that are like comparable to what top athletes make. LeBron James, over $50 million a season. We're in that ballpark for top AI researchers.
That's incredible. And like sports too, there's a lot of movement, right? High mobility, short contracts sometimes.
Absolutely. It creates this constant, almost frantic competition. Key people can get poached pretty much any time. It's very fluid.
So, okay, how does this superstar economy actually look on the ground? Let's maybe look at a specific case to understand the stakes.
Yeah, and there's probably no better example of this bidding war than Matt Deitke. He's 24 years old.
Right, Deitke. This is where the story just gets wild. Meta comes in, offers him $125 million.
It's a staggering amount.
And he says no, rejects it, because he wanted to stick with his own startup for Sept. I mean, $125 million, that's some serious self-belief.
It really is. And apparently that rejection got Mark Zuckerberg's personal attention. He stepped in.
Zuck himself.
Yep, met with Deitke, and then Meta came back with a revised offer, a 4-year package, potentially worth up to $250 million in stock and cash.
Double the first offer.
Double. But potentially $100 million just in the first year. And faced with that, well, reports say his peers basically told me he had to take it. It was just too extraordinary.
And he did, eventually.
He did.
So what makes Deitke worth $250 million? What's his background?
Well, he's known for developing Molmo. That's an AI chatbot. But it processes images, sounds, and text. Multimodal AI.
Which is exactly what Meta is pushing for, right? AI that understands everything.
Precisely. It aligns perfectly with their goals. He's also done work on complex 3D data sets, co-founded that startup Vercept, which focuses on AI agents.
Agents, like smart programs that do stuff on their own.
Sort of, yeah. Performing complex tasks autonomously. Vercept raised, I think, $16.5 million from people like Eric Schmidt, the former Google CEO.
Oh, okay.
And he's got academic cred, too. Won a big award at NERIPS in 2022. Dropped out of his PhD, actually, to go full-time on research and the startup.
So a genuine rising star. But he's just one guy, right? Meta strategy seems much bigger.
Oh, absolutely. Deitke is like one piece of a much larger puzzle. Reports suggest Meta is spending over $1 billion just to build this all-star roster for their superintelligence research team.
$1 billion on salaries and packages.
That's the report. They're actively poaching talent from rivals OpenAI, Anthropic, Apple, Google, you name it.
So it's not just about getting one or two key people. They're building like an entire leadership core. Who else have they brought in?
It really signals how critical they think this elite talent is. They got Ruming Pang, who used to head Apple's AI models team. His package reportedly topped $200 million.
Another huge number.
Yeah. Then there's Shengjie Zhao, who co-created ChatGPT at OpenAI. Alexandra Wang, the founder of Scale AI. Daniel Gross, co-founder of Safe Superintelligence Inc. These aren't just hires. They're strategic acquisitions of like very specific, very rare expertise needed for the next generation of AI.
Okay, so Meta's splashing the cash, clearly. But you mentioned earlier, some people are actually saying no, even to billions.
Right, which is, in some ways, an even more fascinating part of the story. Let's talk about Mira Murati and Andrew Tulloch.
Murati, she was the CTO at OpenAI, wasn't she?
That's right. Now she's leading her own company, Thinking Machines Lab. And Meta tried really hard to acquire them, made multiple offers for the whole startup.
How much would happen?
Reports range from $200 million up to potentially $1 billion over several years.
$1 billion for the startup?
And
Yeah.
they said no. Not a single person from Murati's team, including the co-founder Andrew Tulloch, took the offers.
Yeah.
Murati confirmed it herself.
The entire team rejected it. Wow.
Yeah. And Tulloch apparently was Meta's main target in that group. He was reportedly offered a package worth up to $1.5 billion over 6 years.
1.5 billion for one person.
Including bonuses, stock performance, the works. It's an almost unbelievable number.
But Tulloch, didn't he used to work at Facebook's AI lab?
He did, for about 18 months. And interestingly, he actually turned down OpenAI way back in 2016 because it was a big pay cut compared to Facebook, like $800K versus $175K.
Okay, so he valued compensation then.
He did join OpenAI eventually in 2023. But clearly, this Meta offer for his new venture, Thinking Machines Lab, that was a whole different ballgame. And still, he said no.
Okay, let's just pause there. Why? Why reject billions? What is this independence worth? What are they trying to build that they feel they can't inside a giant like Meta?
It's a really profound question, isn't it? It seems to point to a different kind of value, maybe. The value of intellectual freedom. The chance to really shape AI from the ground up without the immediate pressures of, shipping a product or navigating corporate structures.
So it's about control, about direction.
For some of these top researchers, yes. Being at the absolute cutting edge might mean defining the principles, the ethics, the whole trajectory of AI development. And maybe that level of influence is something even billions can't guarantee within a large corporation.
And Thinking Machines Lab, they don't even have a product out yet, right?
Right, but they're valued at something like $12 billion already. It just shows the perceived potential and the team's commitment to their own specific vision.
Are there other examples of this? Teams resisting huge offers.
Yeah, Dario Amodei, the CEO of Anthropic, and his team reportedly did something similar.
Yeah.
They resisted very lucrative offers because they were committed to Anthropic's specific long-term vision for developing responsible AI.
So, if money isn't always the bottom line for these key people, what does that tell us? What is the ultimate driver? It kind of forces you to rethink what value even means in this space.
It really does.
Now, all this high-stakes talent stuff, it's happening against a weird backdrop, isn't it? This layoff paradox.
Exactly. While these tech giants are throwing around 9-figure salaries for a handful of AI stars, the broader tech industry has cut, over 150,000 jobs since 2023?
It seems contradictory.
It does. It creates this really starkly divided or bifurcated future. AI itself is starting to automate roles these same companies use to value highly.
Like what kind of roles?
Well, initially things like customer service, some HR functions, but increasingly we're seeing it impact software development, even middle management.
So you've got this tiny elite group getting astronomical compensation.
While huge numbers of, say, mid-career tech workers are suddenly facing the prospect of their skills becoming obsolete, it's a jarring contrast.
And there are projections about this, right? The World Economic Forum.
Yeah, their 2025 job report projected something like 92 million job displacements globally versus 170 million new roles being created.
That's a massive shift, not just a small adjustment.
It demands incredibly rapid adaptation from the workforce globally. It's a huge challenge.
So this dynamic, it fundamentally changes what's valuable, doesn't it? It's not just about computing power anymore.
Right. Talent specifically, this very high-end AI research talent, is now seen as the key competitive differentiator. Sam Altman at OpenAI even said something like, "The era of pre-training as we know it is ending." Meaning future breakthroughs won't just come from throwing more data and compute power at the problem. They'll come from genuinely exceptional human insight and creativity.
And from a purely economic standpoint, it makes sense for these companies to pay huge sums for those few individuals.
It does, unfortunately for everyone else. The productivity difference is just massive. The very best AI researchers might be literally 10,000 times more productive than an average one. In traditional software, maybe the best are 10 times better. That difference in leverage makes these huge investments seem rational, economically.
But what does this concentration of talent do to, say, startups, the smaller players?
Well, that's the concern, isn't it?
Yeah.
Startups are often where the really creative, out there ideas come from, but they're in a really tricky spot now.
Can't compete on salary, obviously.
Not even close. And they often can't offer the same cutting-edge tools or the sheer scale of projects that the giants can. So does that stifle innovation diversity? Does it mean fewer fresh ideas bubble up? It's a real risk.
But is there a flip side? Could bringing all this talent together in one place, like Meta is trying to do, actually accelerate progress?
That's the counter-argument, yes. Maybe concentrating talent speeds up development dramatically. And perhaps it could even lead to faster release of powerful, maybe even free AI tools that benefit everyone, sort of democratizing the technology downstream.
It's a double-edged sword, then.
Very much so. And this concentration of talent, and therefore knowledge and power, in just a handful of companies, it naturally brings up some pretty big ethical questions, too.
Like, who controls the future of AI?
Exactly. Concerns about excessive centralization. Who gets to decide the direction? Whose values get embedded in these incredibly powerful systems?
And you touched on the societal impact earlier, this jobs question. Can we actually retrain people fast enough, as fast as AI is potentially displacing roles?
That might be the billion-dollar question, or maybe trillion-dollar question. Are we heading for significant social upheaval if we can't manage that transition?
Do the companies acknowledge this? Meta, for instance.
You do. Meta says it prioritizes ethical and safe AI development, that it collaborates with ethicists, policymakers, and so on. The awareness is there, at least publicly.
So what's the response? What are people suggesting we do about this concentration, these potential risks?
Well, experts are calling for more global collaboration, for sure, more open research, more support for independent research centers, universities, places outside the direct control of just a few corporations.
And governments, are they reacting?
They are starting to. We're seeing governments and educational institutions investing more in their own national AI research efforts, launching specialized programs, trying to nurture and retain their own talent. It's becoming a geopolitical issue, too.
Okay, so pulling this all together, what does it mean for us listening to this AI talent war? It's clearly more than just big salaries and job titles.
Oh, definitely. It's really a defining battle over the future of intelligence itself. Who controls it, who builds it, and ultimately, what kind of world does it create?
There's this core tension, isn't there, between this unbelievable opportunity for a tiny few
and potentially massive disruption for millions or even billions of others.
And it's also about what motivates people at the highest level. Is it the resources, the money? Or is it independence, the freedom to innovate?
That choice seems central to this whole drama.
So here's the final thought, maybe. As AI keeps racing forward, will this superstar economy just make societal divides even deeper?
Or is there a chance that all this human ingenuity, fueled by these, frankly, unprecedented investments, could actually lead to breakthroughs that genuinely benefit everyone?
It's the big question. And maybe for you listening, what role do companies and individuals have in trying to shape that outcome? Something to think about.